Welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show. I have had the privilege of meeting entrepreneurs all over the world, different industries, different stages of their business. It's been amazing. Now, so often I'm in a conversation and I get asked questions that don't align with the stage of their business. I want to explain this to you. I wanted to talk to you today about showing up exactly where you are in your business. And let's just face it, as an entrepreneur, there isn't a step-by-step guide. As an entrepreneur, there isn't a pathway that's often laid out when you have this idea to either be a chef or be an artist or hairstylist or in the personal development industry as a speaker. So let me clarify. You should be thinking about where you want to be in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years. But if you only have a chance to ask one question today, then ask something that's going to put you into a forward-moving motion right now. Not 6 months from now, not 18 months from now. So often when I'm in open coaching sessions, people are asking me questions that don't apply to them and their business right now. They have big dreams, which you should. But your question for coaching and for direction should not be based on where you're going to be in 6 months or in 12 months. It should be based on where you are now, because it'll feel like the information is useless or even overwhelming to you. So get a pen, write this down. There are 3 phases in a business that I want you to consider. There's launch, stabilizing, and scaling. Launching. You can be in the launch phase no matter how long you've been in business. You could have started your business 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you're still in the launching phase based on where it is and what you're producing. If you're still clarifying the idea and figuring out the process and what works for you or your business, then you're probably still in the launching phase. No worries. It doesn't mean you haven't done it right if you've been in business for 5 years and you're still launching. It doesn't mean, I think I was launching for maybe 12 years. Maybe 12 years. I was just getting clarified. I was getting information from the industry. I made some money, but I was still getting clear on the direction, the how-to, and the programs. Now, the second phase is stabilizing. First, let me tell you that there's no timeline for how long you may be stabilizing. And you may have to go back and stabilize again. I was in the stabilizing phase for a long time. I mean, a long time, probably 9 years. If you have consistent income, you have a process in place, you have enough business to keep you going, but you don't have employees or contractors yet. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right? I know that idea, you have the idea of movement, but movement isn't consistent yet. So that's stabilizing. And then there's scaling. This can be the sweet spot. You're consistently growing your business and you have the people and the systems in place to continue to grow. Now, businesses can end if they grow too slow or if they grow too fast. Woo! I can tell you about that one. My business was in the danger of collapsing because I was growing too fast. Often I see people who go from launching to scaling without ever stabilizing, and they run into problems. So if you go from launch, I got the idea, I'm getting it clear, to scaling, just growing massively and putting a lot of people in place and running really fast, you haven't stabilized, which means you're building your business on sinking sand, not cement. So many people have done that. But now listen, there are new directions you can go in and new systems and new people that you can add to your team to help you move from stabilizing to scaling, or inside your scaling business can help you stabilize what you've scaled. Knowing which stage you're in is critical because it'll help you get to the next stage. It will allow you to ask the right questions. If you're launching, ask launching questions. If you're stabilizing, your questions should be centered around stabilizing your business. And if you're scaling, then your questions should be focused on scaling and growth. Now, here's what I understand. When you're in your launching phase, you have a lot of questions. You're looking at who's your target audience. You're looking at what price points should you have. What program should you have in place? How do you create multiple income technology? The average person who's living inside wealth has anywhere between 5 and 8 revenue streams coming into their business. You want to understand what are those revenue streams that could come into your business. Even if they're revenue streams that are not for now, what are they? So in that phase of launching, you should have more questions than answers. And as an entrepreneur, no one gives us the download. No one gives us the handbook to how to make our business a success. So in the launch mode, you're looking for all the ideas, you're answering all the questions. What's your marketing streams? How often should you market? What should be your spend on ads? How are you doing that? How can you save money? What should be your profit margin? So launch is a bunch of questions so that you can have those answers. Then we move to stabilizing. Stabilizing, it's all about consistency. So say that word, consistent. Matter of fact, everyone in the studio say that word, consistency. That's what it's about. It's about, can I rinse and repeat and do this thing over and over again? And in the stabilizing mode, it's where you stop wondering, is this going to work? Is this going to work? Is this going to work? And that's why it may take a while to get there. It's when you know it's going to work, it's just a matter of, can I put the team in place to help me? Can I put the systems in place to help me? That's where you stop having this idea by yourself and you really want to put some systems in place. Now, I got to tell you, this is the part that doesn't feel sexy or exciting to the entrepreneur because we're creatives. We want to be free. And stabilizing requires systems and structures. Why? Because if you have system, structure, and team in place, then you can go be the genius CEO that you are, and the business can keep going, which means the business can become more stable. If you're the only person doing the work in your business and you're the only person bringing in revenue in your business, then you don't get an off day. You don't get a vacation day, and you get no freedom. And here's what I hear about all the time about starting my own business. I want freedom. Well, in order for you to have freedom, you need to have systems, and you need to have team, and you need to have structure. So in the stabilizing area, that's what you're focused on. In scaling, the final area, scaling is about growth and massiveness. So in the scaling part, you want to know duplication. How do I duplicate my efforts? How do I duplicate my programs? How do I reach more people? So everything in the scaling is about duplication. Now, in order to have duplication, your system the foundation must be strong. So make sure that your systems and your structure can hold where you're going to. But this is where you multiply. Everything is about multiplying. So my business was in the launch mode for years because I could never get clear. The name of my company is Motivating the Masses. So I didn't know, did I want to motivate women? Did I want to motivate men? Did I want to motivate entrepreneurs? I was like, the masses, everyone. And because I had every target, I really had no target. And it took me a while to understand that. And then everything was on me. I was the person. And so it wasn't until I got out of my launch phase and I moved to stabilizing that I began to build programs. That's when Abundant Life came out. That's when No Matter What came out. I began to write books. That's when No Matter What came out. That's when Abundance Now, the book, came out. I began to find ways to earn money and generate revenue while I was sleeping. And then I began to hire team. And then I learned how to be a CEO. So in the stabilizing phase, that's when you study how to be a leader. And a leader knows how to lead a team more than they know how to do everything. I was the person that did everything in my business. So I had to learn how to lead people and trust them and train them. And now we're in our scaling phase. Now it's simply about how big, how far can my brand reach? How many people, how many programs can we touch? Can we do programs that are duplicatable? Can I train other trainers? Which is how my Train the Trainers program was born. Lisa Nichols Certified Transformational Trainer program was born because we're in our scaling phase. All right, so I've shared with you launch, stabilize, scale. Where are you? And ask the questions relative to where you are right now so that you can use the answers that you get to grow your business. Remember, this show is not just a monologue, it's a dialogue. This is a community. I would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let me know, what was your big BOL, breakthrough out loud? What was a big aha? Lisa, I didn't realize that. And more importantly, where are you in your business? Tell me, Lisa, I'm launching. I didn't even realize I'm still in launch phase 7 years later, which is totally fine. Totally fine. Or Lisa, I'm in scaling. Or Lisa, I'm in stabilizing. Or Lisa, I was in scaling, but I need to go back to stabilizing, which is totally fine, especially in this time right now. post-COVID and inside this COVID climate and what we've navigated through in the last 30, 40 months, you may have to go back to stabilizing, which is totally okay. After all, I want to hear from you. This is a conversation. We're a unique community. This is your home, and we are your tribe. And I am your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And every time that I say to you that I believe in you and that I love you, it's not because I've run out of words. It's because I do. I cannot wait to see you real soon.